Lee Posey grew up in a family with a single mom who had many jobs, and his mother did not have an education. And he knew that had she had an education, her life would have been much different. It would have been much easier for her, and she would have done great things. And so when he did well as a businessman, he went about making sure that young girls had an opportunity like his mother did not have.
Mr. Posey was very inquisitive, he was results driven, and he believed in getting the job done. He was also the type of individual that believed in building relationships.
Lee and Sally Posey they're just two people that have always cared deeply for the other person. Very generous, not self-serving at all, and belief in what young women can do to give back to the community if the young women are given an opportunity.
Lee knew that without supportive programming, without summer camps, without a college-bound advisor, the results we see now wouldn't have been possible. And that takes somebody who really gets it. He also understood that if we didn't partner with the school district, we wouldn't be as strong as we are today, that there was real strength in that. And I think that's pretty overwhelming and exciting.
I want to say that Lee Posey here in Dallas was one of the early founders of the Young Women's Leadership Network, the preparatory network. And he did it because he just had a feel for something that was missing in our public schools. And I didn't meet Lee Posey until after I had already passed the bill and heard that he was going to start supporting first the Irma Rangel School, but then to support a network that would reach out across our state and help any school district that decides to make this new offering available for the parents. He and his wife Sally were really the pioneers in the philanthropy that made that extra base of support, which is financial, to begin to talk about and support and give the money to do the early things.
At the time that I learned about the foundation, I was Associate Superintendent for Schools here in the Dallas Independent School District. And the superintendent at the time was Dr. Mike Moses, and he came to me and said, there is this gentleman by the name of Lee Posey, and he has this idea about an all-girls school. And would you go talk to him, Ms. Neely?
I was thrilled to be superintendent of schools at Dallas at that time, and I was really excited that Mr. Posey was interested in bringing some of his own resources to bear to help young ladies, to help set up a program that would be one that would have high standards, but offer young ladies the opportunity to have a rigorous program of study, but also know that at the end of the day that college was also a real possibility.
Lee envisioned 6 schools. At first he really wanted all of them here in the Metroplex, and it was such a unique and new idea and concept that I said, I think we need to spread out, and he began to understand that as we approached different school districts.
The network started with Irma Rangel Young Women's Leadership School in Dallas in 2004 and has grown to be 8 schools strong. The Ann Richards School for Young Women Leaders opened in Austin in 2007, followed in 2008 by Young Women's Leadership Academy in San Antonio and the Talking School for Young Women Leaders in Lubbock. In 2010, the Young Women's Leadership Academy opened in Fort Worth, then came the Young Women's College Preparatory Academy in Houston in 2010. 2 years later, in 2012, the Young Women's Leadership Academy opened in Grand Prairie, and finally, our newest sister school to join the network with Young Women's Leadership Academy in Ysleta in 2016.
I served in the United States Senate representing Texas from 1993 to 2013. When Hillary Clinton was elected, I had heard about the Young Women's Leadership School in New York, which was the only really strong, successful girls' school in a public setting. And they had had to actually fight lawsuits against them. But they won those lawsuits and they persevered and they had a great record. And she was representing New York. So I took her there and said, this is just something we should do. And she agreed. So we introduced the legislation together, and Barbara Mikulski, a Democrat from Maryland, and Susan Collins, a Republican from Maine, co-sponsored with us. And we kept working, and because we had such a bipartisan group supporting, we kept working on the opposition, and were able to finally, with the help of Rod Page, who was the Secretary of Education at the time, we were able to pass the legislation that authorized this option for girls and boys' parents throughout America. The success is shown by the Irma Rangel School, the Ann Richards School in Austin, because the girls are graduating from high school. Highest percentage in the 90s are going to college. They have successful records. It's been such a wonderful success, and of course now we have girls' schools throughout Texas.
100% of our students graduate from high school and are accepted to a college or university. In 2017, our 259 graduates received offers of more than $37.5 million in academic and merit scholarships and attend over 100 different colleges across the United States.
When we attend college fairs, our students are immediately recognized. We call it the power of the plaid. And it's true that they have over 3,900 different options, and colleges and universities are thrilled to have them. Because Lee and Sally had a vision, and because the network keeps stepping up to do what they need to do to make sure our programs stay in place, that's happening.
Lee knew, and the rest of us who were a part of that thought group knew that all we had to do was to give young women an opportunity to have an excellent education and to believe in themselves, and that we could just about do anything.
And many things that the Posies did to start this network, and now Lynn McBee is doing a wonderful job in continuing it, building it, and making it a support system for all of Texas.
I'd like the girls in the network to know how proud I am of them, to know that it's extremely hard work and that the payoff is grand. If you work hard and you stay the course and you get your education, you can do anything you want to do. I'd like for them to know they've got a network of support, that they can always call us. We have a whole alumni department now, so always remember YWPN and the Strong Sisterhood, and know that people care about you and are rooting for you.